Lotta is engaged to Alex, but he gets bored of her and breaks up. She tries to prove her worth to him with the help of her colleague Chris, while her sister Estelle tries to steal the limelight. Lotta is crying and running in a torn wedding dress. She sits next to a stranger on a bench, Bilal, who is worried about a sexually transmitted disease. He asks her to give him some space for a private conversation, but Lotta feels numb. There's a story here, and it doesn't sound good. He cuts the call to ask if she's on psychedelics. He's curious because he has never seen anyone looking like such a mess. Lotta begins her story from the time she's waiting for Alex to propose. He is a television show host, while she works behind the camera. He keeps messing up his interviews, but Lotta fixes them. She reminds Alex to be sensitive with the guest whose brother just passed away. They have been together for 5 years, and she has been waiting for her dream proposal. Lotta gets pulled up one day, so she hopes for a quick ticket. The cop asks Lotta to come with him and takes her to her dream proposal. Women dance all around her, and she finds Alex waiting at the other end on a horse. He bends down on one knee and lovingly asks her to marry him. This is all in her head because her reality is slightly different. She knows Alex feels marriage is an outdated concept, and she has made peace with it. While she changes into her night clothes, she gets an awkward surprise at home. All her friends are around, and Alex proposes to her casually. She's still happy about the idea of marrying him. Lotta only wants to get married in her grandmother's wedding dress. Lotta's mom feels they should have buried the dress, but her friends are supportive. Her friends have their own issues. Goucher is sweet and caring, but she's also a frustrated housewife whose husband doesn't touch her. She's married to Dirk, who is always playing with tools and not helping out with the house. Goucher is left managing the entire house and the kids all alone. Lotta's other friend, Pam, hopes to snatch some single guys at her wedding. Pam is the happiest single person Lotta knows. She got a teaching job after having an affair with the principal, but hates all the kids. Lotta doesn't fit into her grandma's dress, but assures herself she still has 3 weeks. She wonders where her sister, Estelle, is. Estelle used to be the family's ugly duckling, till she got a lot of plastic surgery makeovers from Dr. Bernard. She's now an influencer with over 2 million followers and goes by the username BeautyBeast. She posts her whole life on social media, even if it's a sad situation. Her best friend Kim jumps at any chance to insult strangers. When Lotta was best friends with Estelle, they used to keep each other grounded. Lotta finds it hard to count on her for anything now. A man spills coffee on Lotta on her way to work. She suggests he should help her, so he gives her a card and asks her to bill the dry cleaning to him. He doesn't even give his number, and the number turns out to be a Chinese takeout. Estelle wants to take Lotta shopping, but Lotta has an important meeting. She reminds Estelle she forgot her dress fitting. Estelle tries to make up for it by offering her a plastic surgery card. What a solution! She feels that will fix Lotta's problem of not fitting into her dress. Estelle also flirts with Lotta's boss John, which she feels is crossing a line. Lotta attends a meeting spearheaded by Fritz, who is the editor-in-chief with the worst breath. Lotta rants about the stranger who spilled on her, but she finds him in the conference room. Chris has been called to bring viewers back to their channel, and Fritz asks Lotta to be nice to him. Fritz also doesn't like Bo to talk to his wife, Ingrid, who is leaving the house. Ingrid threatens to leave Bo every month, so he needs to keep ensuring she is fine. Fritz asks for some ideas from the group for their new pitch. Lotta suggests they should create a show to help people with their weight loss goals. She means it in a respectful way, but Alex pitches that as his idea. He also insists they should make a show about fat people. Why is she marrying him? Chris backs Lotta and thinks they should be more respectful, but Fritz loves the idea of a freak show and commends Alex for the suggestion. Lotta confronts Alex about stealing her idea, but he claims he's trying to help her. He knows Fritz doesn't like whatever she comes up with and assures her they need to do things as a team. She somehow falls for this and apologizes to him instead. With 2 weeks to go before her wedding, Lotta desperately tries to fit into her pants. She knows she needs to make some drastic changes so she can fit into her grandma's dress. She asks all the ladies to join her for exercise, and Estelle does it effortlessly. The coach tries to motivate them about their bodies, but Goucher complains about not getting any action. Lotta offers a vibrator Pam gave her, which is still in the box. Estelle brags about them getting a discount if they use her promotional code. Chris suggests using a hot weather girl, Mandy, for one segment. He doesn't care that Lotta hired Willemine recently and has fired her. Willemine has more experience, but Chris thinks she's too boring. Chris still likes Lotta's idea board and wants to work on unsuspecting women getting dream proposals. Lotta has pitched the idea to Fritz, who didn't like it. Chris suggests she should pitch it to John. Bo is hosting a show where the guest has a woman in his life also called Ingrid. She lives in the same place as his wife, so Bo starts hitting the guest. Lotta tries to break them up as usual, but Alex keeps wanting to talk to her. Chris asks the team to cut to a commercial, but they all watch as Alex discusses how Lotta has mapped out his life. Alex breaks up with her, and she learns from Chris that they're still live online because of some issue in the control room. This could not get worse. Lotta's video goes viral and hits 10 million views. Lotta admits it's funny, but assures Bilal that it gets much worse than this. Lotta moves out of Alex's place, and her friends help her out. They bring out the Ken and Barbie dolls she bought with Alex in Paris. They burn the Ken doll and ask her to move on. Pam feels she might enjoy being single. Estelle tries to burn her grandma's gown, but Lotta saves it. Lotta ends up living with Estelle, who gives her a healthy ice cream that tastes like plastic. Estelle is heading out to a party and asks Lotta to not end herself. Lotta takes some comfort with her doll but stalks Alex online. She's sure he is out celebrating already. She finds John shirtless in the middle of the night since he's sleeping with Estelle. Lotta asks Estelle to not mess with her boss, but Estelle finds him very hot. Lotta tries to drown the sexual noises and gets back to work. Fritz only acknowledges Lotta because she helped improve their ratings with the viral video. The show about fat people has been green-lighted, and Fritz gives all the credit to Alex. Fritz doesn't want any hassles with Alex and Lotta working on the same show, so he removes Lotta from the show. Lotta is asked to work on another show with Chris. Their host, Bo, is missing since he went to the wrong location. It's starting in 5 minutes, so Chris forces Lotta to take over. She reluctantly hosts the show and ends up crashing her bike all over the place. Just what she needed. She still manages to give a closing statement before they cut to the weather. Chris feels she's a natural, but Lotta is mad at him. Lotta lights up when John and Estelle bring a dog, Binky, to the house. John sponsors the animal shelter, so Estelle decides to bring Binky home. John asks Lotta to not worry about the viral clip and is sure people must have forgotten it by now. Estelle kicks Binky as soon as John leaves because she hates dogs but loves John. Lotta eventually ends up cleaning its shit and taking it out. Estelle is ready to go the extra mile for John and organizes a fundraiser for the city's animal shelter. Lotta learns during the fundraiser that Estelle is now engaged to John. Estelle brags about her ring to the girls, and Kim is excited she was the first to know about the engagement. Estelle asks Kim to be her wedding planner and work with Lotta. Gushia thinks that's very insensitive, but Kim assures Lotta she will just use a few of her ideas. Lotta acts mature and offers to get their grandma's dress for Estelle. Kim refuses to let her wear that, and even Estelle has her eye on a designer that Kim knows personally. Lotta gets angry at Estelle for being horrible, since she was supposed to get married first. That's all in her heart because Lotta is too sweet to say it all out loud. She pretends to be happy for Estelle, but Bilal is pissed at those women. Lotta tries to defend Estelle as her sister, but Bilal is strongly against the idea of Lotta putting up with all this torture. He offers her but she has clearly never tried one before. Bilal feels it's horrible that Estelle stole Lotta's boss in her wedding. Lotta already expects this from Estelle, who does whatever she wants. After the announcement, everything is about Estelle and her big wedding with John. She posts about visiting John at work, but Binky gets away from her and crashes into something. Lotta is looking for someone who took her sandwich. Fritz congratulates her for being popular and relatable with all the losers in the Netherlands. Lotta doesn't want to host the show anymore, but Fritz rudely assures her she has no choice. Lotta imagines herself protesting and attacking him, but can't say anything in real life. Lotta comes to John's office to find Estelle trying to vacuum the vase with John's ex-wife's ashes. She asks Lotta to help her clear it and doesn't let John know what they're up to. When Lotta comes out of the office and screams, she finds Chris eating her sandwich. Now that's a crime. She's mad at him, but she's also adamant that she doesn't want to host the show again. Chris genuinely feels her regional fun show can be a hit, and Alex will beg her to come back when he realizes she is a star. He asks Lotta to make a deal with him about it. Alex is hosting the Fatties show where they weigh the contestants in real time. He is rude and dismissive of them, and it's clear. Lotta asks for Chris's help to win Alex back. What is wrong with her? Chris agrees to help her only if she follows his instructions. Chris starts giving her a makeover and throws away anything that makes her look like an old lady. He gives her a new haircut and takes her shopping. He approves clothes that make all heads turn at the office. Even Fritz feels Alex was stupid to let someone like her go. Their next step is to make Alex jealous, while Lotta continues to look great. Alex tries to talk to her, but she insists she has a date. Chris and Lotta also team up to make their regional fun show more successful than Alex's show. Lotta is hilarious on television, while Alex continues to be dismissive and degrading about his contestants. Lotta is on a roll, and the ratings for her show are off the charts. She announces a fundraiser, and everyone can see how much she genuinely cares for animals. Lotta unintentionally promises to host the show in a chicken suit if they meet their fundraising target. She does eventually end up in the suit. She even does a chicken dance with the kids when they keep collecting more money. Chris also joins her, and they both have a lot of fun with the kids. John credits Estelle for all the money they raised, and Lotta just goes along with it. Alex knows the show wouldn't be possible without Lotta and praises her. He asks her out for dinner after work so he can get some advice about his show. Lotta is still nice to him but starts dancing with Chris. Bilal can see her photo on the billboard, so he knows Lotta turned this around for herself. Lotta also admits things went great for her from that point on. He still doesn't understand what Lotta is doing on that bench, and wonders what happened to Alex. He wants to know if Alex felt bad and called her. Lotta admits she called Alex, but it doesn't sound like a happy memory to her. Chris suggested that Lotta call Alex in her lingerie, so she does. He's still at work, but he gets distracted by how great she looks. She cuts his call to talk to Estelle, who wants Lotta to babysit John's daughter, Julia, the next day. Lotta has a lot of work, but Estelle doesn't give her a choice since she has nail appointments with Kim. Lotta calls Alex back and gets ready to seduce him. Everyone at the office watches in shock, but Fritz is happy to see her like that. She closes her laptop in panic and feels bad. Goucher does something similar and tries to seduce Drick. They almost get in the mood, till she trips on her son's toys and falls. She starts blaming Dirk for never picking up the Lego when she asks him to. She now has a rocket stuck in her behind and is being dragged to the emergency. That seems painful, in more ways than one. Chris turns up at Lotta's house, and she blames him for the lingerie incident. Chris views that as a win, because it got Alex's attention. Chris has been offered a new job as a senior producer in New York. He wanted her to know, but she didn't seem too happy about it. Chris hasn't decided if he's leaving yet, and is trying to think about it. Estelle drops Julia off and forces Lotta to take care of her. While Lotta is confused, Chris takes over and starts playing with Julia. Lotta seems happy till Julia is about to play with her Barbie. Lotta begs her not to, but Chris makes fun of her and asks where Ken is. Julia dresses up Chris as a girl, and he plays along. Alex also turns up to ask Lotta out for a bite. She has just eaten with Julia and Chris, but Chris encourages her to go with Alex while he takes care of Julia. Lotta thanks Chris for the help, while Alex tries to make fun of his dress. Alex keeps praising Lotta at dinner and knows she's a huge success. He knows their viewers also like seeing her more than his fatties show. Alex is worried about his show not doing well, but Lotta still encourages him to keep pushing through. She advises him to give the contestants more space in the show and let them tell their story. Alex admits he misses Lotta and thinks they make a great team. He lets it slip that he wants to get back with her and wants them to be a team outside work too. Lotta isn't sure she wants this and asks for some time to think it through. Alex claims to understand he took her by surprise and asks her to take her time. Lotta comes home to find Chris and Julia sleeping peacefully. He has made an impression because Julia wants him to babysit again. Alex's show has been canceled, so the network is looking for a new show. Chris suggests Lotta should pitch her dream proposal show and think of a title for it. She's not sure Fritz will approve, but Chris wants to help her. They get back to her idea board and start discussing the details. They have a lot of fun together, and Lotta feels very comfortable with Cheers. They keep discussing titles and finally settle for Just Say Yes. Lotta thanks Chris for his help and admits she will miss working with him. As the proposal is ready, Chris encourages her to pitch it to John. Chris also has a gift for Lotta and hopes she likes it. Lotta starts unwrapping it when someone calls her out urgently. Lotta steps out of the office to find a huge gesture from Alex. He has planned a dream proposal because he doesn't want to let her go again. He bends down on one knee and asks her to marry him. Lotta doesn't reply, but everyone assumes she said yes. When people start congratulating them, Lotta runs after Chris to stop him. He's irritated and taunts her about their mission being accomplished. Lotta tries to explain she didn't know about the proposal, but Chris asks her to get back to her party. She comes back to the office to find that Chris gifted her a Ken doll. Alex assumes it's a gift for them, but dismisses the doll. Lotta tries to explain that their relationship is a bad idea, but Alex can't take a hint. Bilal is upset that just when Chris confessed his feelings, Alex ruined everything. Lotta doesn't believe Chris likes her, but she hopes he does. Lotta then remembers Estelle's bachelorette party. All the girls are dressed up, and Goucher shows off her new dress. Kim makes fun of her, but Goucher doesn't care. Pam asks about Lotta's bachelorette party, but Lotta feels things are complicated. Estelle reminds them that it's her party and she wants some attention. All the bridesmaids blindfold her and take her to the boat Lotta has booked for them. Estelle is worried about being seasick, and Kim continues to agree with her on everything. Pam asks them to have 2 pills each to relax. Captain Don welcomes them to the Love Boat and offers them drinks. Lotta hopes they won't overdo the drinking and party, because it's Estelle's wedding the next day. They all assure her, but start laughing and drinking. Don also gets drunk with them, and it's overflowing shots in the boat. Everyone starts hallucinating, so Pam admits she gave them ecstasy pills. They can see jellyfish during the day and express their love for each other. Pam starts hooking up with Don, while Estelle craves kebabs as a vegan. Lotta pukes on the street, but they all feel like they're in a nightclub. They decide to get something to eat as they head to the car. Lotta is responsible and asks them to head home. Estelle accuses her of being too serious, and even Gouchier wants to enjoy this night. Estelle decides to find Pam with Gouchier and accuses Lotta of not caring about her. Lotta heads home and starts sipping wine. Gouchier has befriended the giant teddy, Bruno, who seems to be giving her directions. Estelle realizes they need to get back to the hotel, but she loses sight of Gouchier too. Lotta tries on Estelle's wedding dress and dances around in it. She comes back to reality when she spills red wine on her dress, and Estelle also arrives home. Lotta hides on the balcony, while Estelle keeps trying to find her. Estelle locks the balcony door and heads off to sleep when she can't spot Lotta. Knowing that it's locked, Lotta tries to escape from the balcony but ends up falling down. Gouchier keeps ranting to Bruno about how much she misses Dirk and how they used to be. Lotta gets dropped off at Alex's place and lets herself in. She has come to get her grandma's dress for Estelle, but catches Kim and Alex right after sex. Now that's interesting. Kim is still bitter to her but lets her know that Estelle knew about their affair. Alex still wants to marry her but Kim gets offended. They run after her, but Lotta keeps running ahead and finds herself on the bench. Bilal hates what happened to her, but Lotta feels glad all that is over. He refuses to let her cry and doesn't want the woman to get away with this. He offers to drop her at the wedding. While Estelle freaks out about her missing dress, Pam wakes up next to Don in her school. She asks him to leave and starts getting dressed. Estelle is worried she will have to get married to John in her lingerie. Some teachers and students find Pam, who pretends to be casual. She arrives at the wedding and spots Lotta coming towards them in the dress. Estelle gets angry about Lotta ruining her dress and throws her onto a table. They continue the catfight till Pam intervenes. Lotta confronts Estelle and asks why she didn't say anything about Alex and Kim. Estelle admits she couldn't find the right time to tell her, but Lotta feels hurt she didn't. Lotta screams at Estelle for being clueless and pretending to be perfect. Lotta calls her fake and feels her profile is a lie. Estelle insists she has worked hard for what she has. Estelle has always been jealous of Lotta, who easily got the boys and opportunities because of how she is. Estelle still feels Lotta chases the wrong guys and doesn't know what's in front of her. For the first time she might be right. Lotta shouts out about feeling bad for John, who doesn't know Estelle doesn't like opera or children. Estelle claims she loves John, but Lotta refuses to believe that when she throws his wife's ashes in the garbage. John has overheard all this and takes Julia away. Lotta is left alone crying at the venue as everyone leaves. Lotta movies in with Gouchier. She finds Chris in the same elevator and asks why he didn't return her calls. Chris claims he was busy with John, but Lotta just wants to thank him for the Ken doll. When Alex also joins them, it gets awkward. It gets even worse when Fritz starts talking about the great weekend he had. He is dating again, but his date didn't show up. He has another match with Pam, who he feels is amazing. Chris runs out of the elevator, but Alex doesn't let Lotta follow him. Alex claims he broke up with Kim, but Lotta thinks they're perfect for each other. Alex keeps apologizing for how he acted and asks for another chance. Alex knows she makes him better, but Lotta asserts that she's never happy with him. She makes it final by handing his ring back. Lotta apologizes for ruining Estelle's wedding. She admits she was angry and sad, which is why she said those horrible things. Estelle also admits she was wrong for not telling Lotta about Alex and Kim. She was waiting for the right time, and it seemed like Lotta was happy after Alex proposed. Estelle admits she wanted to strangle Kim for being with Alex. They make up, and Estelle cries about losing John. Lotta is glad to be close to Estelle again, but she feels guilty about ruining their wedding. She goes through the plan she made with Chris and decides to show it to John. She explains that it's an idea she has been working on for a while. Estelle is upset that Chris is leaving for New York and thinks Lotta shouldn't let him get away. Estelle gets pulled over, and the cop escorts her to the dream proposal from Lotta's fantasy. She finds John on a horse, who asks her to marry him again. Estelle knows Lotta organized all this and thanks her. She feels Lotta should leave since she needs to talk to Chris before he goes. Lotta hesitates, so Estelle decides to drive her there. They get stuck in the middle, so Lotta runs towards Chris's place. She admits she wants to be with him, and that he didn't accept Alex's proposal. She knows he's annoying and cocky, but he kisses her before she can say more. All this happens in her imagination because it's too late for Lotta in real life. She asks Estelle to go ahead, but she sticks around to comfort Lotta. Pam realizes Don is married, and she is teaching his kid. She hands over his uniform to his wife, so she knows what he's doing behind her back. As Don tries to explain things to his wife, Pam is happy being single. Gouche clears things up with Dirk, so he also reciprocates and seduces her. Lotta organizes a beautiful wedding for Estelle and feels like she deserves it. Lotta sits alone at the wedding and thinks about her prince. She hopes it's Chris, and that she can meet him again sometime. Chris comes over to ask for a dance and admits that Estelle invited him. Lotta tries to explain why she didn't get in touch, but Chris kisses her. When Estelle is about to throw her bouquet, Lotta claims marriage isn't for her. It lands right in her hand when she's not even expecting it, and decides to consider marriage with Chris.